Hello, and welcome back to the Bunk House. If you don't know, I'm Rich. Hey, make sure you hit that like and that subscribe button. I told you in a couple of videos before that I was going to introduce you to one of my good friends and one of my buddies, and one of the guys that I really enjoy being around with. He's also retired, and I'll let him tell himself about him. I'll let him talk about himself. So I like to pull a little pranks on him every once in a while, but he's a good dear friend, and I'll let him give his story to you. But he's going to be a part of this introduction today, so and we're going to talk about a few things. And hey, his name is George. Come on over and join me in the bunk house. Okay. One of my bunk mates here. Yeah. And we've been battle buddies for a number of years.
Yeah.
And both retired from the Army. I did 30. George, you did how many?
32.
32. And you can introduce yourself and tell everybody about who you are, what's going on, and then I want to get into some of the things that you're planning to do, you and I together.
Yeah. Well, hey, just like Rich said, hey, I'm glad that I'm here in the bunk house. We've been talking about this, and you've been working on this, man. I mean, you've done a lot. You come a long way, man. You got your little setup here and all that, and we've been talking about trying to get my book. Anyway, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. Hey, I did 32 years in the Army, and retired as a sergeant major. Married to my beautiful wife, Belinda, for 42 years. And
what do you call her? Your what?
My sweet pie.
It's Sweetie Pie, all right?
Yeah.
Hey, Sweetie Pie.
Yeah, my sweet pie. That's my soulmate. We have 2 adult kids. We still call them my kids because they'll be there forever. Living up in Seattle, enjoying that life. I'm not gonna mention their name because I don't have permission to do that right now. They may not want to be mentioned. I mean, they love their dad, don't get me wrong, but yeah, 32 years in the Army, beautiful wife, 2 beautiful kids.
So how long have you been retired? When did you retire?
I retired in 2013. Man, I'm gonna tell you, yeah, July 2013, retired, and that's all I could do. I mean, I was forced to do that, and that's going to be another subject because I just wanted to do 30.
Yeah.
Certain things happened, and I ended up doing 32. And June of 2013, moved to San Antonio because of all the facilities for veterans disability. And this is the place, San Antonio, man. I'm gonna tell you, I made the best choice. I was gonna stay at Fort Lewis. I did. I love Fort Lewis, but hey, I love San Antonio better. Anyway, go Spurs, go.
Hey, so a couple of things going on in George's retirement life, and that kind of bleeds over into mine. And so, as he mentioned earlier, he's in the process of finishing up his book about his life story, which had a lot of challenges in it from start to present, and we won't get into a lot of the details. I'll let him give you a little snippets about it in a few seconds here. But and the other thing that he and I are involved in is a podcast. Our podcast is going to be kicking off in a couple of weeks. It's called Soldier Talk. So stay tuned. George is going to be the first guest on there, guest for the show, the podcast Soldier Talk. And that is all about military, active duty, retired, family members, kids, siblings of military folks, all branches. We just want to hear their stories and have an honest dialogue with them. But so back to my buddy, I call him GQ.
Yeah.
And your name is what?
You call me Q, G Money. I have different names for different people. They can remember me, but.
Oh, really? What's my name for you?
It's Rich.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, he got some names. I call him Q.
But
or GQ.
a lot of my friends know me as George. you know, and my church friends know me as Brother George. Some of them, you know, but hey, I just wanted to mention this before we go on because you mentioned, you know, soldiers talk, right?
Right.
And you know, I'm telling you about the three female soldiers that I met at the what is that?
Oh
mall
yeah,
called?
the mall. Yeah,
What is that
North
mall
Star.
called? The North Star Mall.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
not trying to give North Star Mall any public list, you know. But I saw these three young Army female soldiers, and they were standing out there. One of them was the parents were with her parents, and the other two was probably tagging along. But you know, I saw those soldiers, and you know, I went up there, and you know, I just congratulated them. You know, young soldiers at their prime, you know, choosing to serve our country.
Mm-hmm.
And so I gave him a little bit of sergeant major advice, and then I told him, I said, you know what? I'm not an officer. You know, I'm a non-commissioned officer, but you know, I saluted them. I saluted them and told them that you know that I was proud of them. And you know, it's moments like that that you see young soldiers like that you know, they're not caught up in all the whatever's going on. They're just young people trying to live their lives, and I recognize that. And so
Okay.
I wanted them to, you know. So anyway,
Okay.
blah blah blah.
So
I can yap and yap, but
yeah, he can go and go and go.
yeah.
So what are some of the things you're doing in your retirement life? This is only my 4th month in retirement. I've been hanging out with George a lot since I retired, amongst
Yeah.
the other things. But
Yeah.
I mean, how is being retired? There are a lot of folks out there that's watching this probably hesitant about retiring. I think I got to keep working and save this amount of money to make sure I'm okay, and
Right.
I don't have nothing to do when I retire. So,
Right.
what would be some good advice from you to them
On retirement?
on retirement?
Wow, man, okay, that is a loaded question, Rich. That's a loaded question
Okay.
because, okay, I'm gonna try to give a little snippets of, you know, what you just asked me. First of all, okay, when I got out, okay, I had to deal with my medical issues. And I had to admit it, you know, I was messed up. I was messed up. I had post-traumatic stress real bad, and I kept it hidden because I wanted to make Sergeant Major. And so I kept it hidden, and I figured, you know, when I get out, you know, it's going to be okay. But it wasn't. So I tell you, when I got in 2013, I've been voluntarily getting treatment, different kinds of treatments. And so, but Belinda and I do little excursions, you know, and we're learning how to live together. She's retired now, and I dread that Belinda was going to retire, and she was going to be at home with me 24/7.
Oh, really? Why?
I dreaded that because I had conjured up all the bad things that was going to happen. You know, I'm like, oh, Belinda's going to be at home 24/7, and she's going to be bossing me around, and I'm like, please, God, and, you know, so.
I hope she didn't mind you mentioning her name.
I don't think so.
But if not, she got to get over it, right?
Yeah,
It's
but
done.
you know, I think that she's in her 2nd year of retirement,
Okay.
and man, this is
It's great. Things are good.
this is the best life.
Wow.
You know, hanging out with my sweet pop.
Wow.
Anyway, yeah.
So,
But the give a little advice is that I say number one advice, and I gotta say this, I don't want to make this about a Christian thing or theme or whatever. This is about life. This is about life, and I don't know. I'm just gonna quote this scripture right here. Can I do that? If you know?
sure.
Okay. You know, someone asked Jesus what was the greatest command, right?
Uh-huh.
And Jesus says that, you know, love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy strength, and with all thy might. And I may be paraphrasing a little bit, but then it says, love thy neighbor as thyself. And so that's the advice that I give to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, seeking retirement, seeking to live their life.
Okay.
You know, whatever, seeking to better themselves. I think that right there covers
Hmm.
everything.
You know, and I remember one thing you told me just recently too about. I guess you could tie it into retirement. And I mentioned this quote in my last video. Don't let the negative outweigh the good. And I said in my last video, don't let the negative things about transitioning, retiring, or becoming older, or becoming maybe disabled
Right.
outweigh the good
Yeah.
or the goodness.
Yeah.
And I got that quote from George here. And so I would just tell everybody the same thing. You know, if there's challenges out there that you're facing, you know, it may be a negative challenge. There's some goodness to it. There's something positive on the other side of that.
Right.
So don't let that outweigh the goodness or the happiness that's going to be on the other end.
Right.
And I got that quote from you.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
so,
okay.
you know, I'm just telling everybody here,
Yeah.
same thing, same rule applies. And again, we're just kind of just chatting, just yapping, talking.
I'm trying to get the foundation
Yeah.
of.
We're just going through some things, but I'm going to show y'all eventually. I mean, I like to kind of tease them a little bit,
Oh my
as I
goodness.
say.
All right,
Um,
don't be putting me on the spot now. You know, hey.
And he comes back at me as well.
Hey.
But,
Okay, you know, hey.
but we won't get into that now. But I just wanted everybody to know the person I talked about in my last two videos. This is him. Very good, dear friend.
Yeah.
Great family life.
Yeah.
He's an American patriot. He's a soldier. As he mentioned earlier, he done his time in the military. Now he's retired.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty. Your wife also done a little time in the military early on.
Belinda, she's a
Right.
veteran. She did 6 years.
There you go.
And
Okay.
man,
Okay.
we just enjoying life. So,
Good.
Yeah.
Good. And so we're going to explore more about George's upbringing,
Interesting.
you know, where he's from, where he was born, some of the challenges that he had along the way,
Yeah.
and then his military life, and then his post-military life. So we're going to share that over on our podcast channel called Soldier Talk. So stay tuned. That's going to be forthcoming. And we're really going to dive into his book. I've seen some of the excerpts and reviewed the book. How far along the way are you with that book, George, from completing it? You're about 80% complete, or
Well,
10%, or what?
Well, let me tell you something about this book. First of all,
Okay.
I never thought
Yeah.
that George Quincy Walker would write a book.
Okay.
You know, my self-esteem, you know, just like I never thought I'd make Sergeant Major.
Okay.
You know, so, but this book, man, I was like, no. You know, I was saying all the reasons why I didn't want to write it, because then I was going to have to go relive a lot of stuff, right, that I wanted to, you know, keep buried. You know, sometimes we have secrets, right?
Yeah.
And those secrets are our protection, you know, sort of like our security blanket. You know that cartoon character that suck his thumb and you know he had that blanket wrapped around him.
Yeah. You told
You know, well,
you got Snoopy and Linus and all those folks.
Yeah, but you know, so this book has all that. It has my securities in it. It has my, you know.
It's just uncovering a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I'm covering, and you know, not to give a lot away, but
Okay.
you know, I'm
Okay.
covering, you know, when I went into the foster care system at 3 years old,
Okay.
and came out at 18 years old.
Wow.
So then I'm covering that, and then I will be recovering. I will tell you about my life there in the foster care system from 3 years to leaving the foster care. You know, I'm discussing my middle school, high school,
Okay.
even some things that happened to me in elementary school.
Okay.
So it's my history.
Wasn't you in the Olympics too, George?
I believe that I could have made it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
Okay.
since you bring that up, Rich. Hey, I did the mile run, and that's a story. Not to, let anything away.
Okay,
Give anything
we're gonna
away.
save some stuff for the next time
That's it.
for the podcast, right?
That's what I would. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, but this book encounters, Mama Josephine, who was my foster care mother, and the whole group of foster care brothers and sisters, and even my siblings that I grew up with. And so, and then it goes into my experience of my army days and stuff, and
Yeah.
ooh, that's loaded.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
this is in my book. But let me tell you about the book. The book, right now, you asked me. You said I finished it. Well, yeah. This is how I describe to Rich my book. I said this book is a severe car accident. It is. I mean, it's a car. It's there, but and what I mean by that is that there are things that my commas and punctuation
Okay. A
and
little editing needs to go on.
stuff is out of sequence.
Okay.
In doing this book, I did what the Army called mind M-I-N-D mapping.
Mind mapping. Okay. Yeah.
And that's where you write everything down that you can think about what you want to put in your book, right?
Yeah.
So you just put it down. You don't write. You don't put no order on it. You write down stuff that you remember.
Gotcha.
And so that's where I'm at with I have pretty much
Okay.
everything down. I have the foundation down, but the concrete has not. What would you call that? Where you have to wait for the concrete to.
Yeah, it haven't really settled or.
What do you call that? What do you call a concrete when it's supposed to be drying and curing?
When it cures.
Cures.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
Yes. Yeah.
So
So it hadn't cured yet. But I've read some of it, the draft, and
Yeah.
it looks pretty good to me. And I might even have to do some narration on that book. as well.
I gotta say this. Okay, this is my goal. I'm serious. Hey, I believe this is gonna be a bestseller.
Okay.
That we can believe that we
Yeah.
want to believe, right?
Yeah, you can believe. Yeah.
But
That's true.
I believe that a movie can be made of this,
Okay.
and I'm even talking about clothing line,
Okay.
jewelry.
Okay.
But you need
Got to
people-
start somewhere.
You need
right?
people to believe in what you're doing and read your manuscript. And even though reading my manuscript would give you a headache because it's a wreck. So, but anyway,
Okay. So kind of like I heard from another author. I mean, you don't want them to buy the book. You want them to read the book. And what I mean by that is, sure, they're going to
Yes.
purchase it, but you really want them to get something out of it, to get the meat out of it, so to speak,
Okay.
to read it.
And I'm glad you brought that up. Okay. I'm gonna just tell you, hey, I'm a born again Christian, and I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed of it because it's a story behind what God has done for me in my life. There's a story behind that, and so I believe that my book, the book that God has given me to write, can help everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's a healing. I mean, I've been through a lot of struggles. Not having self-confidence in myself, being made fun of, not fitting in, you name it.
Who made fun of you? Wouldn't nobody make fun of you, man?
Well,
I mean,
this is in my foster care days when kids didn't
yeah,
they didn't know they was hurting your feelings.
yeah,
When they point at you and that's a foster. He in a foster care and his
Yeah.
mom and daddy don't like him and
Yeah.
blah. They say these things and they didn't know. They didn't know any better,
Yeah.
but anyway.
Well, and I mentioned on my first video when I launched this YouTube channel that, if I get monetized on here, I want to give back some of that to, I talked about the different veterans organizations and foundations, to the battered women's shelter, to the foster care shelters and homes. So that's what I want to do, give some of the proceeds from this YouTube channel back to those communities to help out.
Absolutely.
Same thing once we launch, and not cutting y'all,
Oh.
once we launched our podcast called Soldier Talk, same thing.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's. I think that's what this is about, giving back.
yeah,
I think we're at the pinnacle of our lives,
yeah,
You know, we're both in our 60s.
Yeah.
Right? You 60 right now or no?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm in my 60s.
Yeah.
I'm in my
So,
60s. I'm in my mid 60s.
You know, here we are.
64.
And, you know, I don't think we dreamed this.
Right.
The success.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
because we all, you know, we all have a story. We all have a story. And when you can, through tragedies and hardships and, you know, everything that life has thrown at you, and you come through it, and I can tell you this. Well, I won't, because I don't want to get too much into giving away.
Okay.
You know, because a lot of this stuff is said in the book. I mean, oh my goodness, I have.
So we want to hold some of that goodness till the
Yeah.
next episode, until when we launch the podcast.
Yeah.
But I would just tell you, hopefully the next time that we're on in the Bunk House, George, you got to bring out your hat, man.
Okay, which one?
Duh.
Hey, which
The
hat?
hat. Whatever color you want. You got a few of them.
Okay, gotcha.
You got a few of them.
So we're gonna do a Texas style.
Duh. Yeah. I mean, just, whichever one you want to pull out.
Well, I wear a baseball cap.
I do too. But, we're in the Bunk House, and for me, you don't have to. I just mentioned that.
No. Hey, okay. I just caught on.
Okay.
Absolutely.
We're in my Bunk House, so yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, well, listen. I want to thank my host, GQ Walker, for being on.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully you hit like and subscribe.
Yeah.
And stay tuned. There's more to come, and we're gonna kick things off. But George was gracious enough to come over and do this with me.
And before you sound off, I think we have something to say to everybody.
Yes.
This is just not for the Army folks.
Oh yeah.
This is for. To me, this is for everybody.
Because the Army is not the Army without the support of the citizens.
All the service.
So everybody always say, hey, thank you for your, what, George, they say? Service?
Yeah.
And I always tell them, thanks for your support. Yeah. Because we couldn't do this, couldn't have done this without your support.
Oh, man, I want to say this. Oh, my goodness. To all the civilians, oh my goodness, and I don't even want to name names because I will leave somebody out. But I had some great civilian support, man, that is much of who I am today, and I salute our civilians. Oh, those of you that support the soldiers and the airmen and the Marines and the Air Force and the Coast Guard, and who else?
Yeah,
all of them.
All branches of service.
Everybody.
Right, everybody. So again, thanks for your support. Make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button, and be part of the Bunk House Talk. Just become part of the family. This YouTube channel is about having fun, just enjoying retirement life, and as two baby boomers, maybe we can share some things with you that we've learned through our life experiences, what we're going through now. And we can also learn some things from you as well. So again, see you on the high ground. Out.